Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Sam Talks Books, and welcome if you're new. Today we're going to be doing my November wrap-up, which my partner chose the books that I was going to read. I'll link that video below. And honestly, this was such a good reading month. I read 8 books. I did have one DNF, but it's fine. It still don't ruin the vibe of what this month was. So I had 2 3.5 star books, 1 4-star book that could change. I'll explain that one in a bit, and 5 5-star books. My partner's the one who pretty much chose all the books I read this month. If you haven't checked out my November TBR, I will link that one below. We're going to jump straight into it. So the first book that I gave 3.5 stars to was Love and Lockdown. So it's not a new favourite, but I still really enjoyed it. And for me, 3 stars is a really good rating still. These characters are absolutely incredible. They made me laugh. It's mainly Jack's character that made me laugh a lot, and the side characters are done really well as well. Obviously we're dealing with these characters during lockdown, and our 2 characters out on the balconies doing the clap for the NHS and all the workers. Jack hears Sophia crying and asks if she's okay, and after that they kind of just start talking on the balcony a lot. They've never seen each other and they start to grow feelings for one another. There's so many cute moments in this book, but also funny moments like had me laughing out loud. I was listening to an audiobook as I read just because I have insomnia, so I was so tired and I just thought it'd help me be able to get through it. And I'm so glad I did, because I had the audiobook playing while I was reading and my partner was on the laptop and he was laughing at certain stuff that was going on in this book. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. It's a really cozy and cute read, and if you love romances, you're probably going to love this one. The next book on this list that was a 3.5 stars was The Hunting Wife. I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't a new favourite. I love this cover and I was like really hoping it was going to be like a 4 or 5 star. And there's nothing really wrong with this book, but the thriller aspect to me just wasn't there, and I swear this book's marked as a thriller. I felt like it's more like a mystery. So the first half of the book, there's not too much going on. We follow our main character and she's hanging out with these other women who have this secret club called the Hunting Wives. At the beginning of the book, there is enough stuff that kept me wanting to read. I wasn't bored, but it wasn't until like page 200 something big happens, and then after that it was really good. Like it just went up massively. I don't know if my rating would have been lower if it didn't pick up during like the middle part of it. I wouldn't say like I didn't enjoy it, it's just I wish action had picked up just a little bit more. However, I will say that the author did really well at how she was making the story work from the very beginning, how she's starting to get all these little bits coming together, if that makes sense, like the story piecing together, so then the second half could make sense. But for me personally, it just wasn't a 4 star. However, like I said, I did enjoy it. It's quite a fast read. The chapters are really short and it's very intriguing. There's like a lot of stuff, like our main character seems to be a bit obsessed with his main character Margaret. These Hunting Wives have a lot of things going on, and definitely did enjoy this, but it's just not a new favourite. However, I will say one thing is our main character's definitely got a lot of flaws, and that's definitely fun to read. It's always nice to read a character who isn't perfect and has these flaws and makes these mistakes, and she definitely does that. It actually frustrated me at times how annoying she was with these certain things, and I kind of felt sorry for her husband. I would still say if you're interested in reading this, definitely give it a try. It's kind of reminded me a little bit like of Mean Girls, but they're older. But yeah, a lot of people gave this book 5 stars. For me though, it was just a 3.5. Now this is the next book that I'm giving 4 stars to, maybe, and that's These Hollow Vows. Now by the time this video goes up, I will have finished it. I'm actually going to finish it today. I'm pretty much like only got like 130 pages left. Normally I would have finished this book, but I've been working on my own book, so I've just kind of been a bit busy and preoccupied with that, and I was meant to get it finished yesterday and didn't. However, this is going to be a 4 stars, I think. If that changes, I'll put it down below. But I've really enjoyed this so far. I love the characters, I love the world. There's a lot of secrets and betrayals going on, and I'm actually really excited to get to the sequel. I can't wait to read the last 100 pages. I think this is just going to get even better. This is a really good read so far. Like, I doubt that last 100 pages is going to ruin it, but can't wait to finish this one tonight. So now we're on to all of my 5 stars. I've never had this many 5 stars in 1 month. I feel like my partner did so well. 2 of the books on here are my choices though, and I will say that if you do watch my partner's November TBR that he picked for me, you'll notice that These Hollow Vows wasn't on it. I swapped it out for These Triumphant Delights. I just wasn't feeling it, and I need that one for a different video, so I ended up swapping out for that one. The first book I gave 5 stars to on this pile is Sadie. I listened to the audio as I read this one, and I'm really glad that I did. This book's definitely heavy. I didn't expect it to be as heavy as I didn't expect it to be as heavy as it was and deal with the subject that it does deal with, but I just couldn't imagine giving this book anything less than 5 stars. I'm definitely going to read from Courtney Summers again. She knows how to write something and make it stick and pull at your heartstrings. So this book definitely did that, but also put you on the edge of your seat. I massively recommend, though, listening to the audiobook as you read for this one. It just makes the story come alive just that little bit more, because the background sounds and the voice acting was just perfect, and it made the character seem all that more real. The ending of this, though, has me like, what? Like, I need to know more. But I'm so glad that I finally got to this one, and that I actually went ahead and bought it, because I'd have been missing out. Another book that, again, my partner chose, of course, but also this is a recommendation from a guy at Waterstones called Jake, who said this book was really, really good, and that is The Castaways. So this was another 5 stars. I didn't really know what to expect going into this, other than these characters are stranded on this island, but there's so much more to it. This book had me on the edge of my seat. So much happens in this book. I don't want to spoil anything, but if you've not read this book yet, I definitely recommend doing it. It's so good. Again, I did listen to audiobook partially while reading, just to help me, because I was so tired. But I did not expect to be giving this book 5 stars. So thank you, Jake, for the recommendation, and thank you to my partner for picking it for me to read this month, because I probably have taken a lot longer to get to it. Next up is Blood and Honey, the sequel to Serpent and Dove. This book I've put off for so long because I've seen so many negative reviews about it, and I'm so confused. People said that there's no action in this book, and I'm confused because there is so much action in this book that I'm like, are you reading something different? Like, I mean, everyone's had their own opinion, and if they didn't enjoy it, they didn't enjoy it. You know, not everyone's going to like the same things, and I can understand maybe why some people maybe were slightly disappointed. I wasn't disappointed. This was a 5-star read, and I am so excited to go on to the next one, but I'm also nervous because I want that one to be a 5 stars as well. It was actually my 5-star prediction video that the 3rd one in the series will be 5 stars, and I'll link that one below. I really, really love this book. There's so much action, and the ending has me like, oh my god, I need to read the next one. So I was really surprised when this one was a 5 stars. I was like, oh my god. Really? If you have been put off by the reviews, I just say ignore them, go into it. You might enjoy it, you might not, but you might. So give it a chance. Next up is a book that was my most anticipated read of the year. One of them, there's 2. I read the first book by this author and gave it 5 stars, and then I read Under the Whispering Door, and it was 5 stars. Oh my god. This is just such a good read. Oh my gosh, my heart. I fell in love with this book, and it's just crazy because this book is so focused around death that I never thought that I would be given a 5-star book and it could be a favourite when it deals with subjects like that. But TJ Klune manages to make it easy to digest and make it whimsical, and he just makes you fall in love with these characters. He just has this way of doing that, of making you fall in love and making you feel cozy. And it's weird that you can feel cozy reading something that is about death, but it's just so good. Oh my god, every single character in this book I absolutely adored. This ending made me cry. There's so many moments I teared up in this book. It's so perfect. If you've not read this yet, you need to read this, and I'm going to be doing a review for this one this month. I need to do a review. Of course, like always, it'll be non-spoilers, but possibly a favourite of all the books I read this month might be this one. And then the last one on this list is a book that I swapped out. I was meant to read You Reach Sam this month, but unfortunately I can't get my hands on a copy, which is really frustrating. So I switched it out with a book that I wouldn't normally go for, but out of my comfort zone. It's a sci-fi, and I think it's sci-fi fantasy. And I did want this book at the beginning, and then I started reading that there was a little bad review for it, and it kind of put me off, and then I just decided to go for it. And that one is The Infinity Courts. I gave this book 5 stars, and I can't believe it. I literally cannot wait for the sequel to this one. Oh my gosh. The ending had so many twists, like twist upon twist upon twist, that I was just like, oh my god, like, what? And I was like literally sitting there going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And my partner's like, what? And I'm like, I can't tell you because he wants to read this, so I couldn't tell him. He's like, then stop saying it. But I just couldn't. This book gripped me from literally from the very first page, and I was hooked all the way through. I cannot read read. Sam, how you do this channel. I cannot wait to read the sequel to this book. I think it comes out sometime next year, I think March. I have got a video coming up that will be all my anticipated reads, so definitely keep your eyes open for that one. It'll be coming soon. So difficult for me to pick because on my Bookworms I normally do like I pick my favourite book of the month that I've read. And if you haven't followed me, definitely go out and follow my Instagram. I'll link it below. But I don't know what one I'm going to pick. It's between these two, or maybe I can get away with just saying my 2 favourite books of the month because I've got so many 5 stars. How could I possibly pick one? Like, I can't pick one. That's mean. Like, I can't do that. But I had such a good reading month. Like, I can't get over how many 5-star books I had this month. But also, almost forgot, the book I DNF'd was Clara and the Sun. There was a lot of negativity surrounding that book, but I wanted to give it a chance because it sounded really good. From the point of view of an AI, like, that sounds awesome. Kind of reminded me, like, as well, of the game Detroit Become Human, so I was hoping it was going to be something like that. However, it was not like that. I got over 100 pages in and nothing was happening. Nothing. It started off positive and then it just kind of went downhill. So I ended up checking out more reviews and asking a few people who've read it what they felt, if it gets better. And people said that no, not really, that they read it to the end, waiting for like some twist or something dark to happen, and nothing does. So I ended up DNFing it. I was kind of sad about it, mainly because of how much I spent on that book. But also because my partner was so excited for it, but I just was like, I don't think you're going to like this, is not what you think. And unfortunately it wasn't. I have opinions and I don't want to be too harsh, but for me personally it feels like the author just went into it without even planning it out. Sorry, but I just really don't like it. It had so much potential and I feel like the author just fell flat with that. And but yeah, apart from that, had a great reading month. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, it would mean the world to me, and turn on that notification bell so you get alerted to when I next upload. And until next time, bye!